Prayer is a great means for developing, discovering strength in oneself. In Sanskrit, we call it Atma Balam. When I reach out, I grow. And the desires lose their hold over me. I begin to hold them. Reaching out makes me big. Then the desires become privilege. Fulfill, don't fulfill. Still, I have whole of me behind the desires, uninhibited by a failure apprehension. In as much as I have healthy prasada buddhi attitude. That's why it's all round. It has to be all round. You have to be a rounded person inside. I say inside, okay? You have to be a whole person inside. In fact, the person is called Purusha. Purusha means the one who indwells this body, male or female. Purusha, a self-conscious person. Another meaning is the one who is whole, who is complete. Relatively, we are talking here a person who is an adult, a grown-up person, a mature person, can be called Purusha. To be that Purusha, I require Atma Balam, one source reaching out, another source tapping strength again from this, what we say, by prayer. Reaching out action, born of free will, yearns grace for you. Not only Drishtapalam growth, yearns grace for you, Punya. Prayer also has Drishtapalam, Adrishtapalam. Drishtapalam means immediate result, and Adrishtapalam means grace. Prayer is a karma. It is an action. In our culture, prayer and a prayerful life both are emphasized. Culture is prayerful. Prayer also forms a part of the culture. How do you pray? What is the altar of prayer? What are the methods of prayer? All these form our spiritual culture. The attitude is very prayerful because I look upon everything as Ishvara. Remember the villager's answer. Everything is Ishvara. Understood? Wonderful. We have a prayerful life. When I conform to Dharma, there is prayerful life. Dharma is Ishvara. When Dharma is Ishvara, here, before we go into the topic of prayer, When dharma is Ishvara, you cannot do anything against dharma to please God. Understand? You can't say, God, for God's sake I am doing this. We say, for God's sake, don't do it. For God's sake, you have to conform to God. Therefore, no double standards. Standard is the same for all. No double standards. What is prayer really? People who pray, pray. But then what is prayer? What for is prayer? What for is prayer? And what is prayer? As I said, I have free will. But really speaking, in all human beings, even though there is free will, the will is not that free. As I told you, it is in the hands of ambitions. It is in the hands of pain, in the hands of guilt, in the hands of hurt. So, in the hands of so many forms of desire. So, will is all edited and abridged. Very weak, emaciated skeleton. Do you want banana or apple? Even there, the free will seems to be weak. Oh, okay. I need to choose. Maybe their free will is free. I can choose what I like. And if I don't get what I like, I may not be unhappy. But that kind of freedom is not there with all desires. Free will, as I said, is very, very weak. It's like anything. A muscle gets atrophied if it is never used. You have to use your hands, do exercise to have some strength in your muscles. If you use dumbbell in one hand, you rise every day. Dumbbell, you give exercise to one hand. You will develop biceps in one hand. The other hand remains the same. This hand you take lota. That's all. A glass. But this side, this is dumbbell. It's clear. The more you use your given limb, the more it becomes strong. Muscles become strong. So too will. The will the freedom of the will, drishtapalam, I'm talking about what you get immediate. The more you use your freedom of the will, the more you exercise the free will, where freedom is available the most, the more strong becomes the free will. Reaching out action is therefore Atma Balam. Free will means Atma Balam. Strong free will means Atma Balam. In reaching out, there is an exercise of the freedom of the will. Why? Because when you don't reach out, nobody blames you. When you reach out, somebody praises you. When you reach out not for any purpose, then there is freedom. When you reach out for something else, it is not charity. It is a mockery of charity. It is something like feeding the animals so that you have extra kilos when they are slaughtered. That's not charity, feeding. It's not charity. So when you do it for doing's sake, allow the person grow the way he grows, Leave the person with his own image, self-esteem. Don't disturb that person. That's called charity. Where there is freedom. But again, there is, in that charity also, there can be little pressure. The will can come under pressure. Because you empathize with the person's need. When that person needs, you have the same tapa. He has a tapa. He has certain sadness, certain pain. You pick up the pain. So that person's pain, total pain may not be there, but to some degree you pick up the pain. This is empathy. Then this pain you can't handle. To get rid of the pain, you do something to that person. This is, you call it charity. I call it just helping, extending my hand of help to that person. That's all. I'm in a position to help, I help. But you can be indifferent to this emotion and then remain without the opportunity that was given to you to grow, without using that opportunity, missing the opportunity. That is why every time there is a need for somebody you come across, you don't lose the opportunity to grow. That's called intelligent living. You grow. Don't leave that opportunity. Hold it by its forelock. Catch it. This is one thing. But again, there is a degree of pressure. Therefore, even in all this reaching out work, to certain people, there is some pressure. The will comes under pressure. The only action in a human being, the only one action in a human being, wherein the freedom doesn't come under any pressure, is an act of prayer. Honestly, Inasmuch as one need not pray. One may ask Swamiji, one prays when one is in despair. Prayer is born of despair. True. Possible. What else one can do? When one has reached the corner, every avenue of help was explored and found not coming, help not coming, or not adequate. Then one has no other go to pray. Therefore, a person who is artaha, who is in despair, who is in sadness, prays. It's okay, that's true. But in that corner, being driven to that corner, he need not pray, he or she need not pray. One can hit the wall. One can sit there and cry. One can think of all other avenues, including suicide. One need not pray. Prayer is the only action, only one action, wherein freedom is total. One may say, my mother asked me to pray, therefore I pray. My wife goes on nagging me, therefore I pray. I go to the puja room every day because she tells me, therefore I grow. Some people tell me like this. The boys tell me, my mother wants me to pray, therefore I go to the puja room. I hear children telling me this. You may go to puja room, but you may not pray. I pretend praying. That is freedom. You don't pray. To pray, you need something inside. That is freedom. Your mother may remind you, but cannot make you pray. May drive you to the puja room, cannot make you pray. Therefore understand, prayer comes from you. Better it comes from you. If you are an intelligent person, it will come from you. You need to live your life intelligently. You cannot be at the right place and at the right time. Every success implies being at the right place, right time. Nobody knows which is the right time. I told you, the hidden variables are too many. This is our culture. Even it is a public project, some national understanding. And when there is groundbreaking ceremony, and groundbreaking is prayer. Digging is not prayer. Excavating is not prayer. Groundbreaking is prayer. Public undertaking. Still is prayer. This is our culture. You can't ask us not to do it. This is we. These are we. Don't tell us not to do it. We are Indians. It's our culture. We will do it. We are intelligent people. We will do it because there are too many hidden variables. We can't ask other human beings who are equally limited. And naturally, therefore, we have to tap a source which I understand as everything. It's a manifestation. The whole thing is a manifestation of Ishvara. And my action also, prayer also is a complete free will action. It will get its own drishtapalam. That I pray itself makes me strong. Because I am exercising my free will. And free will becomes strong in prayer. That is immediate result. But prayer being an action, no action can be done without creating a result. You can't throw a stone in a pond and expect no ripples. Every action produces a result. Prayer is an action born out of me in my awareness of Ishvara, and I am tapping a source is necessary, tapping the source of karma phala, because it is given to me to act. The result is taken care of. Taken care of by the laws of Ishvara. Therefore, I have a special action. Every action produces a result because of Ishvara. I have a special action directed towards Ishvara, not towards an end I think is there for my action. This is directed towards very Ishvara, and that action is bound to produce a result. And that is what we say, punya, grace. It has twofold result. One is the very fact I am praying, I am exercising the freedom of my will. I am exercising the free will, which doesn't come under any pressure. I may be in a desperate corner, but still, while I pray, I decide to pray, I am free. My will is free. Therefore, I gather Atma Balam by exercising the free will. And the act of prayer itself, being a karma, it produces result. That result is adrishtam, we say. What is this adrishta? Why this adrishta I must have? How can it control the hidden variables? That will be our next talk. We will meet you again. Until then, thank you.